All, Vinod here from Entrance Engineering Academy. Before going into the video, I just want to say a few things about Entrance Engineering Academy. So, EEA is an online gate preparation portal, and we offer full course for GATE ME and XE. In addition to that, subject courses are also available for ME, XE, CE, and PI. Engineering mathematics course is available for all stream, and in addition to that, we offer online test series for GATE ME and XE also. So this is our website. You can just check out so that you will get to know more about us. And in addition, we have our own Android app and also iOS app, and you can just go through that also to know more about our courses. Okay. And this is our last year, that is GATE 2021 result from XE. And now let us proceed to the video. And this video is taken from online video course of Endurance Engineering Academy. So we got until this point, right? So ER cap is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Now we know that ET is perpendicular to ER cap, right? So ET is also perpendicular to ER cap. So if I want to find out ET cap, what I need to do? If it is perpendicular and also it is present in anticlockwise direction, then simply multiply iota with this ER cap so that I can find out ET cap. So ET cap, that is tangential direction unit vector, is simply I into ER cap. Now coming to this ER cap, which is equal to cos theta. So what is cos theta first? Like we know the basic relation. I hope that you remember cos theta is equal to E I theta plus E minus I theta by 2. And similarly sin theta will be E I theta minus minus e to the power of minus I theta by 2i. From complex number, I'm not discussing how it is. So now substitute sin cos theta and sin theta there. So what I will get, e to the power of I theta plus e to the power of minus I theta by 2 plus I into e to the power of I theta minus e to the power of minus I theta by 2i. Okay, so I gets cancelled. So finally it becomes, and also you could see e to the power of minus I theta by 2, e to the power of minus I theta by 2, there is a negative sign, so I can cancel this 2 also. So e to the power of I theta by 2 plus e to the power of I theta by 2. So which implies, again I will add it and 2 will get cancelled, so it becomes e to the power of I theta. So ER cap is e to the power of I theta. So finally what we got, we already know that. So ER cap is e to the power of I theta means what about ET cap? ET cap will be I into e to the power of I theta, as we got here. Okay. Now we know that position vector P with respect to polar coordinate is R into ER cap, as we already discussed it. Just now we got it right. Now that is in ER direction, that is in radial direction, it is present at a distance R. So now we know ER is nothing but EI theta. So finally our polar coordinate representation for position vector is R into e to the power of I theta. Okay, so this will be equal to what? Xi cap plus yj cap. This is in Cartesian, this is in polar. Anyways, in this section we are going to concentrate more on polar coordinates only. So now we got the displacement, we got the position vector, displacement vector. What will be the next thing? Obviously we are going to concentrate on velocity, then acceleration. So from now onwards it's very easy. Okay, the initial stage is something which is difficult. You need to understand what is I and what I is going to do, how we are getting this equation, all those things. But from now onwards it's very easy, straightforward mathematics only. So now let us discuss further. Okay, so we got x, right? That is, we got position vector. Okay, that is rp vector or s vector, which is r into er cap, which represent that for reaching that particular particle position, I need to travel r distance in er direction. Okay, so r into e to the power of I theta, where e to the power of I theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta. We've seen that in detail. Now for finding out velocity, okay, velocity vector, I need to differentiate the displacement vector with respect to time, and that displacement vector is nothing but r into e to the power of I theta. Very basic, straightforward. Now how I will differentiate this? This is u, this is v, right? uv method. So I will keep v constant, differentiate r, so that is dr by d theta. I will keep r constant, differentiate e power I theta. Now the question is, last time e power I theta is nothing but what? E power I theta is nothing but er cap, right? Er cap. So er cap is the unit vector along radial direction. When I am discussing Cartesian coordinate, what happened to dI cap by dt cap and what happened to dj cap by dt cap? Both became 0. Why both become 0? If it is x-axis, if this is y-axis, I cap and j cap, okay, both are invariant. Even though if the particle's position varies, the I vector and j vector was invariant and it is independent of the position of the particle. Am I right? So this I and j is not at all going to vary with respect to position. So with respect to time also, it's not going to vary. So with respect to the position of the particle, it's not going to vary. But in polar coordinate, e power I theta, which is er cap, which is a unit vector along radial direction, whether it is also constant or does it varies? That is something which we need to see. If it is varying, then I need to differentiate it. If it is constant, no issues. If it is varying, then I need to differentiate it. If it is constant, then it will become 0, no issues, we can proceed. But how? Whether we need to find out whether it is varying or not, right? Let us check it out. Let us consider that this red color line is the path, okay, along which the particle travels. You can consider some car or some bike, it is traveling in this direction, okay. Now initially let us take, this is the position where the particle is there. Initially this is the position where the particle is there. How to find out the position vector? Simply connect this point with origin. We know that polar coordinates means origin will be there and reference axis will be there. So I am connecting these two, okay. So this represents the position vector rp vector or s vector simply, okay, rp vector or s vector simply. Now what about our two unit vectors? One is er cap, another one is et cap, right? So what is happening to er cap and et cap? Check it out. Er cap is radial direction, will be in radial direction. So this is er cap. Et cap will be tangential direction, right? This is er cap and et cap for this particle when the particle was in this position. Now the position of the particle varies. For example, let us consider it is moving in this way and the particle is reaching this point, okay. Now what about er cap and et cap? Does it still remain in the same position? Does er cap and et cap still remain in the same position or does it varies? Of course it varies. Now the new position of er will be, first I need to find out the, I need to find out the position vector. I will just join this two, okay. So this is going to represent my rp vector, rp vector, and what about my tangential unit vector and radial unit vector? Tangential unit vector is going to be this, radial unit vector is going to be this and tangential unit vector is going to be this. So initially when a particle was here, these are my unit vectors. Now these are my unit vectors. So unit vectors are also varying when the particle moves. But in this case, if particle is here, unit vector was here only. When the particle is here, unit vector was here only. When particle is here, unit vector was here only. So unit vectors will always remain as I and j only, irrespective of the motion of the particle. Okay, what about if the particle was here? The particle was here, then again similar way I will get the position vector by joining this two, okay, by joining this two, and er will be radial component, so this is going to be er cap, and tangential component et cap, okay. So when the particle was here, these are my unit vectors, unit vectors, and when particle was here, these are my normal vector unit vectors, and when particle is here, these are my unit vector. So what actually I am doing? Simple. When the particle is reaching here, I am drawing a circle, I am connecting this 2 point, this radius represent my position vector and these two are my unit vectors. When the particle reaches here, I am drawing a circle and this distance from O to this distance, the total distance will be my position vector and ER and ET, okay. When the particle is here, I am drawing a circle and this represent my ER, this represent ET, this represent my position vector. So as the position of the particle varies, okay, ultimately what we need to know, as the position of the particle varies, ER and ET, ER and ET varies. We given one name for Cartesian coordinate system. It is a fixed space system, right? But now, since the space is fixed, it's not going to vary. Okay, but in case of what is that? Space fixed system, right? Cartesian. In case of polar coordinate, it is going to be body fixed system. It is not space fixed system. Okay, body fixed coordinate system. Why? Because if the position of the body varies, if the particle was here, I will get different unit vectors. If it is here, I will get different unit vectors. If it is here, I will get different unit vectors. So based on the position, I need to draw the circle, and then I need to find out the position vector, and then I need to find out the unit vectors. Based on the position, I need to draw the circle, I need to find out the position vector, I need to find out the unit vectors. So this is both actually. In fact this is also not equal to 0, and this is also not equal to 0. So both are not equal to 0. Okay, so now we will see the derivation hereafter is very simple. So let us continue. So until this step we seen in the last case itself. Now this d by dt, now we understood this d by dt e to the power of I theta is not going to be 0, because e power I theta is not constant, er cap is not constant. So what will happen if I differentiate e power I theta? What happens? Simple, right? Differentiating this, theta is the variable, so I will come here. Okay, e to the power of 2x, something like that. If I differentiate e to the power of 2x, what will happen? 2 into e to the power of 2x, am I right? So that is what? I into e to the power of I theta. Now again, theta has to be differentiated with respect to time, because here it is time, right? So again, if I differentiate theta with the time, it will be d theta by dt. Okay, so d theta by dt, I'm going to take it as theta dot, which is omega, angular velocity. And similarly, d square theta by dt square is going to be theta double dot, which is alpha. Similarly, dr by dt, it's going to be r dot, d square r by dt square is going to be r double dot. And now angular velocity and angular acceleration, what does it mean? Just angle changes with respect to time. See, simply spatial change with respect to time is what? Linear velocity, right? And similarly, velocity change with respect to time, which is nothing but d square s by dt square, which is going to be acceleration. Similarly, this is angle change. Okay, angle change with respect to time will be angular velocity, which is going to be omega or theta dot. Again, angle change 2 times. Okay, then it's going to be theta double dot, that is alpha, angular acceleration. Okay, so now, so differentiating this, I will come before, so I into the power of I theta. Again differentiating theta, it's going to be theta dot d theta by dt, which is theta dot. Okay, cyclic rule. First I need to differentiate this totally. If I differentiate this totally, I will come before. Then I need to differentiate this theta, it becomes theta dot. Similarly here, e power I theta was there, dr by dt, I'm going to take it as r dot. Okay, dr by dt. Okay, the radial variation with respect to time, that is r dot. Okay. So now finally we know that this e to the power of I theta is nothing but er cap, and I into e to the power of I theta is nothing but et cap, which we seen in the last before last video, right? Last video only. So this is e power this e power I theta is nothing but er cap. I into e power I theta is nothing but e theta cap. So instead of this, okay, I'm representing it as et. Okay, et cap r into theta dot. Okay. Similarly, instead of this, I'm replacing it with er cap. And here it is r dot. So see, very simple, velocity vector is equal to, let me write it here, velocity vector, okay, which is equal to r dot into er cap plus r into theta dot into et cap. Okay, so velocity vector, okay, this 2 represents the direction. Okay, so this is representing radial direction, this is representing tangential direction. This is a velocity vector, right? This is obviously velocity vector. So what could be this term and what could be this term? This is component of velocity vector in radial direction. Okay, so component of velocity vector in radial direction is r dot. This is component of velocity vector in tangential direction, so vt, which is going to be r into theta dot. Very important. final conclusion, you just remember this. We will be doing problems, we will be analyzing circular motion. That time you can understand it in a much better way. This is linear velocity, linear acceleration. This is angular velocity, angular acceleration. Keep that in mind. Okay. So now we'll proceed to acceleration. So next is acceleration. So what we need to do in case of acceleration? Differentiate velocity again with respect to time. Okay. So if I differentiate velocity with respect to time, so this is the equation which I got for velocity, right? R dot, which is the radial component, E I theta, which is the unit vector along the radial direction, R theta dot, which is what is that? Tangential component of velocity, I into e to the power of I theta, which is E t cap, that is tangential unit vector. Now, coming to the next step, differentiation. How I need to do? See, listen carefully. Bit mathematical. You have to listen carefully. This is u, this is v, uv method. So by keeping r dot constant, I am differentiating e power I theta. Okay. Next step, I am keeping e power I theta constant, I am differentiating r dot. Okay. Now in this case, this is u, this is v, this is w. I is anyways constant. Okay. So I am keeping I commonly outside. It's a constant value. Okay. Now keeping r and theta dot constant, I am differentiating e power I theta. Okay. U v w method. And keeping r and e power I theta constant, I am differentiating theta dot. And by keeping theta dot and e power I theta constant, I am differentiating r. Okay. Now coming to the next step. In this case, d by dt e power I theta is there, right? So if I differentiate e power I theta, first I will be coming before, so I into e power I theta, and theta's differentiation is theta dot. Okay. And differentiation of r dot is what? R double dot simply. Okay, simply r double dot. Okay. So e power I theta into r double dot. Now coming to this is a bit complicated, not complicated, bit what I could say, more mathematical. Just be patient and listen to me. Okay. Now coming to this step, differentiation of e power I theta. Okay, differentiation of e power I theta will be what? I into e power I theta, right? I into e power I theta into theta dot. Again I am differentiating this theta, that's going to be theta dot. Okay, so this is this term, and I am multiplying this I inside, so there was another I. So this I into I will become I square. I square is what? Minus 1. Am I right? I square is minus 1. So r theta dot, another theta dot is there. So if product of two theta dots, theta dot square. So r theta dot square. And this is going to be e power I theta. Okay. So I into I minus 1, I square is minus 1. R theta dot into theta dot square, this is going to be e power I theta. Okay. Now plus this step, r e power I theta I written, this I, okay, so this I will be coming here also, so I into r e power I theta. Differentiation of theta dot is going to be theta double dot, simply, nothing complicated. So what I will do, I will take this r theta dot and I will write this I into e power I theta separately. Okay, I into e power I theta separately. Okay, plus. Now, what about this case? Theta into e power I forgot the I. Okay, so I need to multiply I inside, right? Here one more I will be there. Okay, one more I will be there. This I, okay, multiply it here, one more I will be there. Okay, so I theta dot e power I theta, no issues. Differentiation of r with respect to time is again r dot. Okay, dr by dt is r. Now, this two. Theta dot, sorry, not this two, theta dot and r dot, right? Sorry, r dot, theta dot. I will write this I and e power I theta separately. I and e power I theta separately. Okay, so now I got everything whatever I want. Now simply segregate it. Segregate all the radial components separately, tangential components separately. We know that radial component is e power I theta, radial unit vector, and tangential component unit vector is I into e power I theta. Am I right? So segregate it and keep it. So a vector is going to be equal to, okay. So here is there I into e power I theta, r dot theta dot. Okay. Another r dot theta dot we have here, right? So that is going to be that side. Okay. Let me write it. Let me write it like this: e power I theta plus I into e power I theta. Okay, so r dot theta dot, r dot theta dot, if I am adding them both, 2 times of r dot theta dot. Okay, 2 times of r dot theta dot. Okay, next, this is e power I theta into r double dot. Okay, So r double dot. Okay. Next here e power I theta, this is going to be minus r theta dot square. Okay, minus r theta dot square, minus r theta dot square. Okay. Finally we have this. Finally we have this I into e power I theta. I taken it commonly anyways, no issues. This is r theta double dot. Okay, am I right? Yeah. So these are the components, and again obviously this is ER cap and this is ET cap. So what is going to be this? That is going to be a radial component of acceleration. Okay, so that is r double dot minus r theta dot square, and tangential component of acceleration, this one. Okay, r theta double dot plus 2 times of r dot into theta dot. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so finally let us just see the summary. Don't worry much about what is this r double dot means, what is this r theta dot square means, what is this all these things means. We will see it later. Okay, so first we got three we got three vectors. One is position vector, displacement vector, and we got velocity vector in polar coordinates, and also now we got acceleration vector separately, radial component acceleration, tangential component acceleration, velocity also, and similarly we got for displacement also. So let us complete our discussion on polar coordinate system for a general motion. Okay, if I take a particle, just you consider some car or a bike or whatever, that car or bike or something which is going to move in this path. Okay, so some path. Okay, so this is the path in which it is moving, and presently the particle was here. Okay, that particular car was here. And how I am going to frame it in Euler's method? Simple. With respect to that path, and I will be taking one origin or center of the circle. I will be drawing a circle. So one reference point will be there, which is nothing but origin or a pole, and only one reference axis will be there. And now this particle position is at a distance, or it is at an angle theta from our reference axis, okay, in anticlockwise direction, and it is present at a distance r from the center. So this particle P will be represented with r comma theta. And here in case of Euler's method, we have two unit vectors. One unit vector is along the radius, okay, it's nothing but a unit vector along the radial direction or normal direction. Another one is tangential unit vector. This is unit vector along tangential direction. Okay, so we got that ER cap is nothing but e power I theta, and E theta cap is nothing but I into e power I theta. Okay, these are the things which we already know. And now from this I got the first thing, which is the position vector, S vector or RP vector, which is equal to r into e to the power of, r into ER cap. Okay, so ER cap is nothing but e to the power of I theta. Okay, this is one equation which we got for position vector. And next we got an equation for velocity vector, which is nothing but r dot into ER cap plus r theta dot into E theta cap. Okay, so this is radial component of velocity. Okay, velocity in radial component, which is r dot. R dot means what? First derivative of that radius. Second derivative of that radius is r double dot. Okay, radial distance is r double dot. So r into theta dot. Theta dot is nothing but this distance is there, this displacement is there, right? Angular displacement, angular change. Okay, that angular displacement, rate of change of that angular displacement will give me omega, or nothing but theta, which is angular velocity. See, rate of change of linear displacement is velocity, linear velocity. Rate of change of angular displacement is angular velocity, how the angle change with respect to time. And 2 times differentiation of that angular displacement will be my acceleration, which is angular acceleration. Okay, that is nothing but d theta dot by dt, or d square theta by dt, which is theta double dot. And now, so this is v tangential, this is v radial. Okay, now coming to next, we got acceleration component. So again, acceleration component we have two. One is a radial acceleration component, another one is tangential acceleration component. In radial acceleration component we have two, one is r double dot and r theta dot square. See, the meaning of each and everything I will be discussing in the further video. As of now, you just remember the formula. Okay. Now coming to AT, this is 2 r dot theta dot. We already know what is r dot, we already know what is theta dot. and this is r theta double dot. Theta double dot is 2 times of differentiation of theta, which is nothing but angular acceleration. Okay, right. So these are the things which we discussed until now, right? And now what we are going to do, first we will do some problems related to these things. Okay, later we will proceed to circular motion. See, until now I didn't start at circular motion. I explained to you what is circular motion when a particle is moving in a circle, and Euler method is going to be more suitable for that. All those things is fine. But now, until now we didn't started the circular motion. I hope you are able to understand. I'm just dealing with a general motion only. Okay, so for general motion, how to get S, V and A in terms of polar coordinates. Okay, that is what I discussed. Now I will do some problems. Okay, later I will jump into what is that, circular motion. Okay.